Welcome to the beautiful township of Barnesworth. Population? Unhinged. We play as a lemon-head-looking dude who cannot deny any polite requests for help. And he gets a lot of requests.
Thank goodness you're here.
Just the man I need.
Thank goodness you're here.
Thank goodness you're here.
While the game is exceedingly charming, and I found it frequently hilarious,
Colin's gone and lost it, so it's vegan. I hope that's all right.
Oh no, I'd rather sit in bed.
I'm a chartered surveyor, and I'm in trouble.
Later.
You freak. The achievement hunt was complicated, mainly due to the side quest achievements being incredibly easy to miss. We loop around town in a circle, and it only goes one way. The side quests require constant attention, otherwise I could miss an opportunity to progress it, and it won't be available my next pass-through. So it's a lot of double and triple checking to make sure I don't miss anything important. But there's no time like the present, so let's get started. Our story is centered around the town's head honcho, the big kahuna, the mayor. We are visiting the town of Barnesworth to meet up with him. Upon arrival, we're told that he's in another meeting and will be for several hours. I'm not about to sit here for several hours, so I head out into the township to kill some time. Upon exiting the office, Visit Barnesworth is unlocked. The controls for this game are quite simple. We can walk, we can jump, and we can slap. I immediately began to slap everything in sight. From this pigeon to this male person, nothing and nobody was safe. In my slapping frenzy, I bust open this mailbox, which contributes to no post on Tuesdays for damaging every mailbox in town. I also find some talented singing rats in the park, which contribute to the rat pack for finding all three groups of the patriotic little fellas. The rats simultaneously contribute to Friend of the Forest for finding all woodland creatures in the game, some of which speak and some of which don't. Or maybe those who don't speak can and simply choose not to. Since we're talking collectibles, may as well add here Bobby Knocker for hitting every closed door in the game. Some doors are missable since a few will open later on, but trust me, not slapping something was not an issue for me. In the town square, I happen upon this guy, Charlie, with his arm stuck in a drain grate, holding on to a tuppence. And I can think of two good reasons to never let go of a tuppence. So he requires a lubricant to pop himself free. Before I can get too far into solving Charlie's issue, this dungaree-wearing man, Herbert, requires my help with mowing the lawn. And while it would have been nice to know that the flowers were sentient before I got involved, I'm here now anyway, and Mama didn't raise no quitter. In a separate area of the park, I whack this mound of dirt, meeting an affable mole who invites me to dinner with him and his mole wife. He later rescinds the invitation upon learning that I don't have a mole wife myself, which is pretty rude. That was never stated as a requirement, and I didn't imply that I had a mole wife. He assumed. Back in the town square, I find this guy, Nick, struggling to open these store shutters. One solid whack later, and his lightly used brick store is open for business. Later in the game, once he's sold enough bricks, we help Nick to pivot into the used furniture business. And by used, I mean currently used. This is a man's house. But business is booming, and we return later to find that Nick has sold out, leaving this man with nothing but a can of beans. By which I mean nothing. I'm so sorry. Back to Charlie and his tuppence, some butter could help them escape the drain grate, but unfortunately, the employee Colin has lost the key to Mother Meg's Buttery goods shop. And the locksmith Rodney refuses to do any work until he's had his morning lager. So across the square I go, towards the bar. On the way, I passed the Bobby named Bobby, and it took me a moment to realize he's fucking in there dorking it. I need to interrupt Bobby's polishing session every time I pass by his little Bobby box, since after enough times he'll throw these eggs at me, call it a magic trick. This is a reference I don't understand at all. At last onto the bar, and the bartender Larry says he can't draw a pint because the kegs are flat. Sounds like a job for someone small, yellow, and balding. Down the sink I go, slap around the barrels, and get poured into a beer on my way out. After slapping Rodney into the recovery position, it's into the Buttery goods shop I go. I steal an exceedingly large stick of butter and skate it out to Charlie, who becomes free of the drain grate, I guess. And I now have a path to another area of town, passing through the pipe system, slightly displacing this commemorative plate of Princess Diana. And while she only moves a little bit every time I pass through, after enough times...
Lady D!
We've lost her again. I pop out into the back of the local Chippy, which currently has a broken fryer. That is travesty that cannot stand. In order to fix it, I need to find the handyman Jasper's wrench, screwdriver, and hammer. None of which matters to me at the moment, because outside of the Chippy is my favorite character, Graham.
I'm looking for tits. Orphanages, I'm not for sale.
I pass a storefront, Price Shaggers, which I could not resist going into. Turns out that's the local grocery store, and the employee Carrie tasks me with cleaning up aisle 2. I proceed to do so the only way I know how. Also, during tool time, I encounter this complete stranger trying to feed me his sausage through the glory hole in his fence. There's no achievements involved with him, but he seemed worth mentioning. Like, what is he up to? Tell me your secrets, fence man. I find Jasper's wrench inside of a fish, displayed by the fishmonger, Bish. The wrench is returned to Jasper, but on the subject of Bish, he will ask me to arrange his display to his satisfaction each time I pass by. On my final pass-through, I arrange it to his satisfaction. What? And I don't feel good about it. Jasper's screwdriver has been stolen by the fully functional colony of rats that exists at Price Shaggers. If you're wondering if I'm small or if Meep is big, the answer is that it varies a lot. Lastly, I find Jasper's hammer at the bottom of the river, and it's time to rev up those fryers. I am one hungry customer. No one's really sure where the fry oil gets drained out to, but it's probably fine. I meet up with Herbert, and he's having no success at getting anything to come out of this pipe.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I've been sucking this pipe all morning. I haven't got a drop out of it.
After I follow the hose down the well, turns out the sink isn't turned on. After giving it a whack, Herbert has water for his prized tomato.
Looks like we didn't need that hose after all, lad.
But he determines he needs fertilizer to really make it perfect. The best place to find fertilizer is at Raj's Veg Hole. Raj is having a complete meltdown because people will not stop mentioning how exceedingly large his head is, which, it's a pretty big dome, I'm not gonna lie. After I force Raj into a PTSD flashback of all the problems his head has caused him in the past,
I can't keep pretending anymore, Roger. It's just too big!
Ooh. I'm able to grab a bag of fertilizer while he's crying like a bitch. Herbert needs some help opening the fertilizer, but I was curious about what is going on in the foreground. When I unlocked an achievement named Ménage à Trois, I knew I was in a little too deep. Abort! Abort!
Look at this, lad. There's a zip right here.
After I help him open the fertilizer, Herbert finally has the perfect tomato.
Cream of the crop.
Snail.
For a little bit of cleanup in the garden, I also help Sue with some pest control and tuck Charlie in for a nap.
Oh.
On to the next area of town, there's an absolute dump truck sticking out of this food truck. Yeah, damn! And I'm given the opportunity to slap it. I'm not strong enough to turn down that offer. He doesn't appreciate it very much, but after I harass him enough, I unlock cheek to cheek and he kicks me out. I never even got his number. Big Ron of Big Ron's Big Pies seems to be trying to get my attention, but it's hard to tell.
I want a pie.
He's so subtle about it. He's having a disaster, which also needs my help. He's out of meat, and he can't make a pie with no meat. He needs me to make a run down to Sam's Hams and get him some, and he's just gonna have to deal with the stigma of having another man's meat in his pie. This quest unexpectedly sends me into this terrifying scene where the meat is trauma dumping.
My father brought me and my sisters a lamb each, and put a single sheep knife between us. Mine, the run to the litter, jolted as I made the cut. It bleated and bled for a fortnight, and I wept.
What? I need to listen to them all in order to make this meat version of Sam grow big and strong. Including all the meat unlocks final form. Incredibly bizarre, but now I have meat to give Ron. Throw that in the oven with some pie mix, and something goes awry, resulting in the world's largest Big Ron's Big Pie, which makes him very happy. In a back alley, I encounter this unstable gentleman, Brigadier Bean Tin, who has a desire for beans and no desire for pants. Oh my god. Holy... It's so small, dude. Jeez. After knocking this can of baked beans down to him, I unlock the beans are on the windowsill. He then orders me to return his seagulls to him without even thanking goodness that I'm there, which triggered me a little bit. Brigadier Tiny Dick thinks he can boss me around, so let's go. Oh, there's one. Circling around to the Chippy, Graham is very concerned about these aggressive, sentient dandelions, but I've never been good with instructions. Hitting all the flowers unlocks green fingers and makes my boy go complete Rambo. I met this sad little guy who can't enjoy his cup of tea because he's all out of milk. But he can't go get milk himself because he's milk shy, whatever that means. Thankfully, I find a bovine friend in town, but she needs fish and chips to summon the will to move. The chip shop is incredibly busy, and Marge isn't in any hurry to serve anyone.
40 minutes! Marge! Come on, hurry up! I'm eating for two here! And I'm pregnant!
Where you turn, love?
I need to cut the potatoes myself to get the line moving finally. After letting the potatoes air their grievances and deciding I don't care because they're just potatoes. I receive the chips for the cow. This bird even helps me deliver it directly table to farm. So we're ready to get some milk. But I did not consent to participating in this scene. Whatever the hell this is.
This is awfully nice.
Oh.
Ooh, my.
No. Yes. Oh no. Yes.
Milk shy no more.
Back in the main town square, I stop by the pub to meet with Larry and learn how to spot a stroke. Everyone should know this, so I'll play it in its entirety for you here.
Do you know the 7 signs of a stroke? Think fast. F. Face. Is it too big for their head? A. Are they having a stroke? S. T. Time to call the Coast Guard.
A new door has opened, and I meet this guy with a loser cold. He's bedridden and in need of groceries, but doesn't want anyone else touching his food. Problem? Meet solution. So we're off to escort an arm to Price Shaggers. Barring a small incident at the hallway, the arm seems to be fully functional and able to traverse the town without a hitch. On my way down the pipes, Jasper asks me to get him some spirit level bubbles, which apparently we can find at Price Shaggers. The way he's laughing makes me think it doesn't exist, but what do I know? I'm on my way there anyway, so why not?
Look.
Florence shows me to the back for the bubbles, and they are real. I guess. I catch one in a net, opening the window for the hand and taking me soaring above Barnesworth for a brief, wondrous moment of respite. But all good things must come to an end. My bubble bursts, literally, and by happenstance my net falls on this guy I've seen swindling the townsfolk throughout the game. I receive a hero's welcome for my success in catching him, which causes just enough of a distraction for him to simply walk away, unlocking still at large. Back to Price Shaggers, we help the hand with shopping and find the perfect canned meal for him.
Beans is a dessert.
Beans is a dessert? It has to be 40 years out of date to be optimal. That's the peak moment of freshness.
Take the lot.
I serve the sick man his expired soup, unlocking breakfast in bed, and it slides down into a cutscene where our little guy has finally had enough. I make a break for the mayor's office before anyone can ask anything else of me. The mayor is available now, only for him to show me in and say the dreaded phrase.
Ah, thank goodness you're here.
I'm left with one final achievement. Patience is a virtue. This requires me to sit still at the beginning of the game and wait for the mayor to be available, rather than exploring the town. 15 minutes and a snack break later, my time in Barnesworth is complete. This game was a hell of a good time, and I think y'all should definitely give it a shot. And the 100% was pretty quick. My entire time in the game was only about 4 hours or so.
Ready for another bit of
That's all I have for you today, though. Until next time, bye-bye.